and what we should be doing about it, right? So with that note, I would like to, share my screen. It ಮಾಡಲ? Okay. Is that visible, sir? My screen?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. I will try to connect you all to the some philosophical thoughts on this subject matter, that is sustainability, which is bothering each one of us today. To begin with, I would like to, show you a small video on the man-animal conflict that has been happening across the globe, right? Because, of our ill acts, greedy acts of the human being, we are trying to encroach the forest lands, and that's the reason the wild animals, who are also part of this earth, and this earth belongs not only to the so-called human being, but also to the animal order and also the plant order. So I will try to take you through some of the philosophical perspectives to bring more clarity as to what this sustainability is all about. Okay, a small video by Ricky Cage showcasing the human animal conflict, how we are especially the treating the elephants, the kind of torturing that has been done to the elephants. Can you see the video also, sir?
No, sir. Video is not visible as of now.
Just a second.
Yeah.
Share screen ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಇದು ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಬಂದಿದೆಯಾ? Go back.
Yes, sir. Now it is visible.
Yeah. A very beautiful video. Please watch it. Then we will carry forward the discussions. He is the Grammy Award winner from Karnataka. Sir, sound audible?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
That you do unto me, you do unto yourself, oh la 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 divine, is the very heart of mine, for all love die. Mirror, mirror on the The womb of life itself is love divine. That you do unto me, you do unto yourself, oh la 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 divine, is the very heart of mine for all of time. For all
Right? Can you see my slides, sir, Max?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. I think it's very nice video by Ricky Cage showcasing how we are treating the wild animals, right? And so it is unfortunate that on one hand we are worshipping elephants, on the other hand, right, we are treating them, like crazy. Right? That's where we need to ponder upon why, such the man animal conflicts are on the rise. What is the reason? What we should be doing about it? To know deeper into this, I will be covering some theory aspects also. I will not show you the other video which is about the sustainability. We all know what is sustainability, what is causing sustainability. Whenever there is an imbalance in the nature, it will lead to issues pertaining to sustainability, losing sustainability. That is where all problems crop up, start. Okay. So, according to me, it is sustainability is development without affecting future, because we don't own this universe. One thing that we all understand is we don't own anything, right? So we don't have any right to damage the nature. We need to pass it on to our next generations. So that is the so-called responsibility on all of us. For that, we need to maintain equilibrium in the universe, which is nothing but sustainability, right? What is causing these, sustainability issues or problems is some of them are unsustainable consumption, plastic pollution, greenhouse gases, ozone depletion, rise in temperature, global warming, climate change, about which each and every one is worried about. So, what it requires a systems thinking. We need to think holistically instead of a piecemeal approach. And all organizations, whether they are profit making or not for profit, they should keep all the three elements. They need to consider not just the profit but also the interest of the people and also the interests of the planet, which we call as triple bottom line. So all the three have to go together. It is not that we focus only on the profits, ignore people and planet. That will make the situation even worse, right? So why are we talking about sustainability, right? Let's look at some of the issues which I already covered. Some consumerism, we are all talking about it, but nothing much is happening in that area. And we all know that big is becoming bigger and small is becoming still smaller, causing equity related issues, which is disturbing sustainability. Unfair access to the resources, people becoming greedy, not happy with whatever that they have. We don't care attitude, right? We don't care about animals, we don't care about forests, we don't care about nature, We don't care about the plant order either. So wasting natural resources, just think of it, how much wastage as an individual I am or you are generating. So what are we doing about it? Whether it is wasting of the water, wasting of the paper, wasting of any kind of a natural resource, right? And wars and terrorism activities, a recent Ukraine war, which is ongoing war, is telling us where we are heading, right? They are also talking about biological warfare, cyber warfares, extinction of species. Every other day we read in the newspapers that these species are getting extinct. Means they are creating a gap in the nature, causing disturbance in the nature. Okay, so disturbing the food chain created by God, right? And also the pollution. Look at what is happening to our air quality, water quality, and overall environment quality. So all these aspects are disturbing the harmony of the nature, which is causing the issues pertaining to sustainability and making the environment unsustainable. In simple terms, if everything is sustainable, then there will be harmony across the nature, which will lead to peace. If the things are unsustainable, then they are going to cause disturbances in the nature, which will take away our peace, right? So what we are experiencing is the scenario 2, that all our practices, majority of them, are unsustainable, which are causing disequilibrium in the nature and leading to lack of peace. So this is an important model which I took it from the Universal Human Values course, which was propagated by the AICTE as part of IKS, that is Indian Knowledge Systems. From IIT, I think Kharagpur, doing a lot of interesting work in this area, trying to connect us back to the roots, back to our ancient Indian philosophies. Right? This is the model that I took from there. So there he talks about four orders, right? Bio order, which covers plants, trees, grass, all what we call as the flora, right, of the nature. And then there is an animal order which we call as fauna of the nature, which covers animals, birds, insects, etc. The third order is the physical order, which is again covers all natural resources, be it air, water, minerals, soils, etc. And then the last order is human order, right, wherein we all fall in that order. If you look at this model, right, physical order is more or less self-regulated, right? They know how to balance their resources, right? And their regeneration is also equally powerful. And same thing is true with the animal order. They are also more or less self-regulated, right? They are not greedy, right? So whatever that they need, only that much only, they keep, they hoard, and they will not go for unwanted things, right? And same thing is true with the bio order also, that is a flora of the nature. They are also very very self-regulated, and the relationship between the other orders is also mutually fulfilling. It is not that they only take from the other order and don't give back to the other order. It doesn't happen that way, right? For example, animal order and the bio order. animal order and the bio order. See how the what we call as the butterflies, how they help the forests in growing the forest, right, through pollinations. And also, each and every animal is not only taking from the bio order but giving it back, okay, in terms of manure ugly, in terms of safeguarding the environment ugly, right? So they are mutually fulfilling. You take care of me and I will take care of you, right? This is true across all the three orders, that is bio order, physical order and animal order. The relationships with the other order is mutually fulfilling, right? They don't create any disequilibrium within the other order. The only problematic order is the human order, okay? You can think about it. Are we self regulated? Do we worry about the other three orders? What is that we are doing for other three orders? Is our relationship with the other three orders, is it mutually fulfilling? The question to be asked. Very important question, right? We are just using the natural resources from the physical order, be it air, be it water, be it minerals, all right? Everything we want to just, take as much as we can, and don't worry about, replenishing it back. For example, a classic case is mining case. We have been mining and mining and mining from this mother earth and leave that in its condition. Don't do anything beyond that, right? And same thing with the bio order, right? We try to extract as much as possible from this order, and same thing with the animal order. We don't care the animals. We think we own the earth, we own this universe. That is what is the root cause to all the issues pertaining to sustainability, right? So in order to address these issues, we need to go back to our roots, go back to our ancient scriptures. What are they saying, right? And what we should be doing about it, right? So let's look deeper into that. So what we have to do is understand the intricacies of all the four orders and live accordingly. Develop mutual relationships with the other three orders. Very important. We saw the video, that is man animal conflict. Why it is happening? Because the relationship is not mutually fulfilling. Right? And we need to understand that harmony in the nature is achieved when there is a mutual fulfillment among all the four orders of the nature. Otherwise, it is simply not possible. And as I said, the other three orders are more or less self regulated and have a definite conduct. Then why human order cannot be self regulated and can have a definite conduct? Okay. For example, just to quote one example, the so-called, the wild animals, be it tiger or lion, they hunt only one animal in a week, right, and sustain on that throughout the week. They will not go on killing the other animals, right? If they need one animal, they will just hunt one animal, kill one animal, and eat and live happily, right? And they also share that with the other fellow animals, right? Be it wolves, be it eagles, be it vultures, they share it. Okay? It is not that they consume the whole thing themselves. So we need to learn from them. We need to learn from the other three orders. Why it is happening? Okay, the question to be pondered upon. Because the root cause is we think we are just this body, right? So right understanding of the self, it has become a paramount who we are, how we should be living in this universe. Are we just the body, or are we beyond the so-called body? That is where I will try to connect you to through to various Upanishads in my following slides, which will define the self, what we compose of. We are not just the body is just the one outermost layer. We call ourselves as this body or the self made up of 5 layers. I will talk about it later, right? Then, developing positive feelings, very important, like love, trust, respect to other three orders, caring the other three orders, having that gratitude, sense of gratitude, affection towards, be it plant or be it animal, whatever it is. In fact, in our ancient scriptures, we worship them, right? We worship Govardhan Giri, which is a hill. We worship Ganga, which is a river, right? That is there in our scriptures. But why are we now kind of going away from it? Which is, if we have these positive feelings, we can be happy. On the other hand, to have a sustainable life, sustainable nature, we should hinder negative feelings like hatred, greed, anger, violence. Very important. What we are seeing in the war kind of situation is violence. The kind of treatment that we are giving to elephants, which you saw in the video, is nothing but violence, right? Hoarding, right? Storing, over possessiveness, right? We worry about not only our generation, the next generation, and the generation after, right? Which is causing unhappiness, right? So we need to look deeper into these elements, because just, what do you call, touching the surface and coming out with some, what you call, glamorous strategies, which we call sustainable strategies, right? Marketing strategies, HR strategies, finance strategies pertaining to making them sustainable, will not take us far, right? So sustainability leading to harmony. How can we expect the nature to be sustainable when the society is unsustainable? Okay. And when how we can expect the society to be sustainable when the families are unsustainable? Okay. So again, when families, how we can make family sustainable when myself is unsustainable? So this connect from the self to the family to the society and to the larger nature, we need to understand, right? Because we are part and parcel of the so-called universe and the nature. So we cannot ignore that fact. Okay. Even the societies are part and parcel of that, the bigger universe. What is happening today is I am worried about myself. I don't worry about the society. I don't worry about, what is, happening to the nature. So that is where all the issues pertaining to sustainability crop up. Let's connect me back to some of the philosophies in Bhagavad Gita. Very nicely, one of the very powerful ancient Indian scriptures, which very clearly in two of its shlokas, right? Second chapter 62 and 63, wherein, the first shloka, dhyato vishayan pumsa sangas tesho pujayate sangat sanjayate kamaha kamat krodhod bhijayate. Again in the second shloka, Krishna says, krodhod bhavati sammoha sammohat smruti vibhramaha smruti bhranshat buddhinasho buddhinashat pranashyati. How we are going to disturb the nature, how we are going to spoil the nature, how we are going to spoil the harmony within the nature. Everything starts with the sensory perceptions, which lead to attachment, which will lead to desires, and which will, when the desires become unfulfilled, it will lead to anger. Anger will lead to clouding of the judgment, wrong judgments, bewilderment of memory, loss of intelligence, and ultimately leading to falling of the self and falling of the nature. And similarly, if we don't act now, what will happen? That also Krishna very clearly says, right, in the fourth chapter and seventh and eighth slokas, which is a very, very popular shloka. We all chant, but we fail to understand the meaning of it, right? What it says is, Yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati bharata abhyuthanam adharmasya tadatmanam srujamyaham paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya cha dushkritam dharma samsthapanarthaya sambhavami yuge yuge. If we don't care about the other three orders, which is adharma in itself, then I will take the avatara and I will set the things right. Okay, so we have to remember that if we don't act, then somebody else will act and it will be too late by then, right? So let's act on it instead of talking about it, right? So problems start with they, solutions start with I. What I can do to bring back the sustainable development, that is the question we all need to ponder upon. So another important, Shaiva philosophy, right, which is, revolves around Tyaga, which is sacrifice, Vairagya, that is detachment, simplicity, minimalism, harmony with every other being, right? If you look at this image, the family of Shiva, right? You find lion there, you find the bull there, you find peacock there, you find snake there, right? And look at that, right? You find even the mouse there. Okay, right? A lion, actually the prey of the lion is bull. Okay, prey of the peacock is snake, prey of the snake is mouse, but still then they are living together. That is what is coexistence, right? Look at the Kailasha, right? A very, very minimalistic approach. Look at the dress code of Shiva, right? What he wears, Rundamala, right? And also the Rudraksha mala, snakes, and the skin of wild animal, right? So treating everyone equal, right? That is also another Shaiva philosophy. The disciple of Shiva are not only suras but asuras, also bhutas and also the pretas, right? So that is what we should learn from this philosophy. So, and the Shiva symbolizes nirvana, kaivalya, and moksha, which is nothing but the eternal bliss. Okay, if we look at the nature of the self as defined by our ancient Indian scriptures, the definition is the nature of the self is Sat Chit Ananda. We are truthful, we are eternal, we are supposed to be blissful all the time, 24 by 7, right? But are we blissful? Why we are not happy all the time, 24 by 7? Means somewhere we are doing something against this ancient philosophies. Okay, this tyaga, vairagya, sahishnuta, very important quality, right? That is taking care of one another, be it animal order, be it plant order, be it physical order, and also the samadrushyata, very important, looking at every being as a living being. Okay, so those are the qualities we should learn from the Shaiva philosophy. Okay, minimalism, for example, right? Tapasya, for example, are all important. We are all forgetting all that, right? And somewhere, somehow, we are all getting into this rat race of accomplishing more, earning more, more name, more fame, but at what cost? Okay, it's not that I am against earning more or I'm not against, but somewhere you need to, not at the cost of disturbing the nature, is what I am trying to comment on. Then similarly, as per Yoga Darshana, which is by Patanjali Muni, right? He gave to this universe Ashtanga Yoga, right? 8 limbs of yoga, which are Yama, Niyama, Asana, Pranayama, Pratyahara, Dharana, Dhyana, and Samadhi. Okay. So Yama all talks about the universal standards for harmony and peace. Those are all ethical, universal ethical observances, practices. So majorly he talks about 5 things: ahimsa, satya, asteya, brahmacharya, and aparigraha. Non-violence, truthful, right? Not stealing somebody else's property. Asteya means that, right? For example, encroaching the forest is nothing but asteya. It doesn't belong to you. Then why you are eyeing on that forest, which is meant for some animals, some creatures, some living beings? And brahmacharya, we mistake the meaning of brahmacharya. Brahmacharya is the conduct of life. It's not only pertaining to sex. It's how we are leading our lives, how I am conducting my life, which involves our vichara, that is uh, our thoughts, okay, and our achara, that is our conduct, right? Not just the, and also the vyavahara, how we are dealing with the other orders, okay. And aparigraha is over possessiveness, want to acquire more and more and more. Somewhere it connects us to the greed. When I should be having one house to live comfortably, I should be happy with that one house. Why I should go on buying houses? Okay, I'm just, nothing wrong in buying houses, but these are all issues very very deep rooted. That's where I keep saying, we try to address the sustainability just at the surface level through some glamorous strategies, okay, but we need to really go deeper into it. Right? These should reflect in the values of the companies, values of the organizations, okay. Then second limb, very important, he talks about niyama, personal ethical practices and observances for harmony and peace. See, look at those 2 words, harmony and peace. Right? When he talks about shaucha, santosha, tapas, swadhyaya, and ishvara pranidhana. Shaucha means cleanliness. The COVID crisis has taught us the importance of cleanliness, hygiene. This was mentioned long back, 2500 years back, by Patanjali Muni in his Yoga Sutra. Okay. And also the Santosha. We are supposed to be happy all the time. If I am not happy for some reason, means something is going wrong inside me. Okay. Tapas, which also we saw it in the Shaiva philosophy, austerity, sacrifice. We should be worried about the other living creatures also. To them also this earth belongs. Swadhyaya, that is where studying about the self. Who am I? What is my purpose? How I should be living? Discovering self. Very, very important. We may do a lot of research about various other elements, various other practices, various other things, but I fail to study myself. Okay, that is what is causing this problem. And lastly, the Ishvara Pranidhana. There is something higher order which is governing all this. We need to believe that, right? For example, we say sun god and the moon god, right? Every day without fail at sharp between 6 and 7, he comes up and he sets exactly at the same time. They are so disciplined. Who is controlling them? What is controlling them? Okay, so there has to be some higher order which is governing this universe. If we don't act, then the higher power will act. By then it will be too late. We have been seeing earthquakes, we have been seeing tsunamis, we have been seeing a lot of disturbances that are happening in the nature. Why they are happening? Right? We don't ask those kind of questions. Right? We try to manage at that point of time, and we just forget. Okay? Like we are all forgetting now the COVID. We think it is past, it's gone, it's not going to come back again. Right? But no, that is not going to solve the problem. And then he talks about asana pranayama, which are pertaining to cleaning our body and the mind. Pratyahara, very importantly, he talks about drawing senses inwards from the outer world. Most of the time we look outside, we look at outside world, we don't look within, when the entire universe is within me. Okay, aham brahmasmi antahettivi. Okay, we are somewhere, personifies the universe. Everything is inside me. But I need to understand that it's a slightly higher philosophical issue, but that is very true. In our Vedas, these are all which we call as Mahavakyas. Mahavakyas. Aham Brahmasmi. Shivoham Antaheti means everything is inside me. Okay? But we don't follow that. We don't, understand that, and don't do anything to go deeper into the self, and we just touch at the surface level and be happy with it. And then the dharana, dhyana, and the samadhi, which gives the bliss. We talked about bliss. How can I be blissful all the time? Through this practicing dharana, dhyana, and samadhi, which will give the contentment, happiness. Okay, which will lead to again the harmony and the peace at the nature. Okay, and another important concept which I tried to touch upon in the beginning, that understanding self is important. Who we are, what we are not just this body. Body is just the outer layer, which we call as annamaya sharira, annamaya kosha, gross body. Okay, this is not me telling you, that is it was described in Taittiriya Upanishad, one of the ancient Indian scriptures, which is Anadi and Ananta. Nobody knows when it was written, right? And it was there from time immemorial, and it is going to remain for the coming time. The second layer is Pranamaya Kosha, right? The breath, right, that we inhale and exhale, right? That is the second layer, right? To decide whether a person is living or dead, doctor will check his pulse. Okay, that is, he will check whether his pranamaya kosha is alive or not, right? Then he will declare dead. But the third layer within that is manomaya kosha, right, which we call as mind. Okay, everything starts from mind. So there is a layer of the mind, and then there is a layer of intelligence, which we call as vijnanamaya kosha. Right? We, the human beings, only have this vijnanamaya kosha. We know what is right and we know what is wrong. God has given us this discriminatory intelligence. Okay. But unfortunately, we don't use it. Even though I know it is bad for the nature, I indulge in it. Okay. So that is where things go wrong. And in the end, the final layer is Anandamaya Kosha, which is the causal body, right? Which is our Swarupa also, our Nija Swarupa of the self is Satchit Ananda. But we don't understand this. We end up in satisfying only the gross body, good clothes, good food, right? And good home, good car, and whatnot, right? Holiday, international holidays, and this and that, trying to satisfy just the gross body. We don't go beyond that. So that is where the things crop up. The moment I understand that my Nija Swarupa, my true self, is the causal body, it is not the gross body, then my thinking will change. My attitude will change, my behavior will change. I will be more responsible towards my words, actions, and deeds. That is what is required today. That is what is required today, right? So, somewhere, somehow, we are forgetting this yogic way of life. And the other people also commented. The Buddha, we all know, right? He talks about basically the four important elements. He talks about interrelatedness. We are all interrelated, mutually dependent on one another. Somewhere, somehow, we are all connected. So we don't have any right to disturb that. And also, he talks about mindfulness. Okay, we have to be mindful about effects of our actions on the world, right? This is an effective way to avoid causing damage to the nature and to the other living creatures, right? We are not mindful, right? That is what is causing all this disturbance. Compassion, very important, positive feeling, right? We need to be compassionate towards other living creatures, not just my family, my brother, sister, son, daughter, wife, but beyond that, even to the plant kingdom, animal kingdom, the physical order. Okay, we should be compassionate. That is where he come out with the concept of ahimsa. Again, Patanjali Muni also talked about ahimsa, right? And the way we are treating elephants, which we saw in the video, is nothing but ahimsa, cruelty. Okay, what right we have to treat elephants in that manner? We need to ask these questions, right? Enlightenment, knowing self. Again, we started with that ideology that all these issues have cropped up because we misunderstood self. Okay, so, and that is the ultimate goal of the life. And also, our Gandhian philosophy, which revolves around Satya and Ahimsa, very important, right? Harmonious relationships, balance in nature, forgiving nature, working for social justice, human rights, poverty. And he also talks about the absence of war, sense of inner peace and well-being, very important. Okay, and sense of tranquility. Tribals, very interesting a case. I think we all should do some research on these tribes, the way they live their lives. Okay, and my daughter, who is has just finished her BSc in forestry science, had been to Andaman Nicobar to study this tribe called Onge tribe. Very interesting. We should learn the sustainability from them, how they are leading their lives, how they are dealing with the so-called nature without causing any disharmony. Okay, they kill only one animal in a week, the entire tribe, and they live on that one animal, and they also feed it to other creatures like vultures and other animals also. And their agricultural practices, can you see those 6 images? The way they practice agriculture is very, very sustainable. Okay, and they are not spoiling the land. If you look at what is happening today within the agriculture industry of India, majority of the farmers are going for cash crops. Okay, in my region, I come from North Karnataka region. Because it got irrigated, they are taking 2.5 crops every year. Right, that is not a sustainable practice. They give lot of what you call chemical manure to the soil, and take 2.5, 3 crops, and after 5, 6 years, that soil will lose its all strength and will not be fit to cultivate anything further. It will become a barren land. Okay, so somewhere we have to learn all this from our tribes. Okay, they don't believe in just taking from the nature, they believe in living with the nature, coexistence, simple living. Very, very important. And for your kind information, during 2004 tsunami, absolutely zero casualties. Can imagine, right? You can check the research papers also. This is all because they are so intelligent. They know how to lead their lives, how to safeguard themselves, how to live with the sea, how to live with the nature. And these are, another person by name Suresh Hundre, who is no more. He's an industrialist from Belgium, right? And his thoughts on sustainability are simply amazing. Researchers have published a lot of cases on him. They are available. Even one group from Harvard Business Review, had come to Belgium and wrote a case on him. Okay, very, very interesting. He called its units as Temple of Ethics and Business Ashram. Look at the words temple and the ashram, right? Do they signify something? Yes, right? And then very, very powerful equation he came out with: wealth is equal to money plus peace. I want you people to ponder upon this equation. Very, very important equation, right? If you take out peace, okay, then you are left with money, okay, which is nothing but money is wealth minus peace. Okay, so are we interested in wealth, or are we interested in money? We need to ask this question. If we are interested in wealth, then this money, whatever that the companies are earning, should be loaded onto the wagon of peace, onto the wagon of harmony. Then only they can become wealthy. Okay, and similarly, these are some of his achievements he is proud of. He says he hasn't given 1 rupee bribe in last 25 years. He has not generated 1 rupee black into last 25 years, and he spent on an average 2 hours per day for social work, because somewhere we are part of the society, right? Somewhere we have to give it back to society, our time also, not just the money, but our time also. These are some of the important lessons we should learn from people like Suresh Hundre. Okay, and again, his model of sustainability revolves around 4 elements: values, ethics, social responsibility, and the spirituality. Most of the companies talk about only the three elements: values, ethics, and social responsibility. They don't touch this fourth element, that is spirituality. Very, very important. That is where you actually go to the roots. Okay. But otherwise, if I just talk about the values and ethics and social responsibility, then I will be again, scraping the surface. I cannot, bring the notable changes in the way I operate my business. To do that, I should bring in spirituality as well, right? Who am I? Again, understanding self, very, very important. Again, in the Upanishads and Rigveda also, very interesting. See, this first loka, who is Lagu Chetasam and who is Udara Charitranam. There are two kinds of people. One is Laghu Chetasa and another category is Udara Charitranam. Okay. He defines one is a relative, the other stranger, say the small minded, right? He called the other person the stranger. Okay. Whereas Udara Charitranam, he says the entire world is my family. That is where, we come out with the concept of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. Not only the, human beings, but also each and every living organism on this earth. They are all part of my family. Say the Udara Charitranam. This is in the Rigveda, one of the four Vedas, ancient Indian scriptures. Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. Okay. And again, there are so many prayers in the Rigveda, right? And very, very nice prayer, that is Sangachadvam Samvadadvam Sammo Manasi Janatam Deva Bhagam Yatha Purve Sangyanana Upasate. Very nice. Look at the meaning of it. May you move in harmony, speak in one voice, let your minds be in agreement, just as the ancient gods shared their portion of sacrifice. Okay. So this is how we can bring back the sustainability. Again, the same prayer. May our purposes be the same. May we all be of one mind. In order for such unity to form, I offer a common prayer. It's again prayer from Rigveda. Okay. May our intentions and aspirations be alike so that a common objective unifies us all. Somewhere intentions are not positive, not clear, they are malified in some way, which is causing these disturbances. Not only the intentions, but also the aspirations. Okay. We want to become God. We want to, somewhere, if you look at the war that is happening, why it is happening? Okay. Aspirations. So, in summary, I think, I'm about to finish. This is said by Vivekananda. Okay, Western dynamism and efficiency should be combined with Indian spirituality, and that can only make the best management system in any sphere of human activity. Okay, so with that note, and maybe do we have some 5 minutes, sir?
Sir, please.
Yeah, I'll just play one last video and there it will end, right? Which is on the
Please, sir.
wildlife of Karnataka, right? Is it audible, sir? Can you see? Are you seeing the video?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Sir? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
This
So
is
thank you
what
all. So my last message is, let's respect nature, let's fall in love with the nature, and let's take care of the nature. That is the only way to address all the issues pertaining to sustainability. Thank you, the organizers, for giving me this opportunity to share some of my thoughts, right? And with you all, thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Sir, we need to thank for your valuable time and your valuable words. On behalf of SSB, I take this opportunity to thank Dr. Purushottam Bang sir, Professor and Director, RV Institute of Management, Bengaluru. On behalf of SSB and all the faculty fraternities, I thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
From your beautiful words, we could say some inspiring formulas to our students. What remembers me is the 7 sutras that you said: spiritual, moral, ethical, honest, transparent, simple, and disciplined. That is what young budding entrepreneurs, young budding aspirants who are pursuing their management education in our institute and all the faculty fraternities need to remember. Sustainable development in India encompasses a variety of development schemes which include social, clean energy, water, sustainable agriculture, human resource segments, having caught an attention both at all spheres of life. Professor covered us with spirituality, with social, economic, and dimensional views, which is really eye-opening for each one of us. On behalf of SSB and all the faculty fraternities, I thank Professor wholeheartedly. Thank you very much, sir.
If there are any
Going
questions,
further,
we can take questions, sir. If you have
yes,
time.
definitely, sir.
Yeah. I'm
Yes,
available.
yes,
I'll
sir.
be there. So yeah, sure.
Sir, there is a question on the chat box,
Yeah.
which is being penned down like this: suggest a roadmap for younger generation towards sustainable development.
Yeah, I think the entire presentation revolved around that, and the one thing is understanding self, right? Which my presentation was revolving around, is very important. We give lot of attention and time to know the word, but we don't spend time in knowing self, right? So having that clear understanding of the self is very, very important. If you do that, then I think you don't have to do anything else. All right, so that is what, even in the universal human values course, it came out very clearly, right, that all these problems what we are seeing in today's world are because we don't know our true self. Okay, sir?
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Now I take this opportunity to welcome Dr. Balakoteshwari ma'am, Principal and Dean for Sanskrithi School of Business, to take over with Best Declaration of Best Paper Award. Over to you, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you, madam. Bala madam, thank you so much for giving this opportunity. Thank you so much. Thank you. You need to unmute, madam. Bala madam.
Thank you so much, sir. You're kind enough to give us time.
Yes.
And wonderful presentation has given a lot of insight into our own identifying self and connected nicely with our mythology
Yes.
and very beautifully explained. Thank you so much for your wonderful presentation. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you. So we'll have the best paper presentations, which is to be awarded now. Can we have the slide, please? So the much awaited best papers which are to be given to the paper presenters towards the technical sessions which has happened yesterday and today. So we are proud to announce the best paper awards for the 2 days international conference Sustainable Development in Search of New Development Model, which is an international virtual conference. So the first best paper research paper award goes to CCC, Cosmopolitan City, COVID, Commoner and Impact Analysis, presented by Dr. KBM Lakshmi, Dr. Naveen Kumar MS, Dr. Shanbagavalli from School of Commerce Studies, Jain deemed to be University, Bangalore, Karnataka, India. Second best paper award goes to second best research paper award goes to environmental stringency and sustainable trade, perspective of environmentally sensitive goods in G20, presented by Alisha Mahajan, Dr. Kakali Majumdar from School of Economics, Sri Mata Vaishnav Devi University, Katra, Jammu and Kashmir, India. Congratulations to the winners. The first best research paper awardee will get 5,000 rupees. The details will be collected by the organizer from the winners. And the second best paper award will be receiving 3,000 rupees. And the organizer will get in touch with the presenters for the details. So in my view, all the presenters who have presented their papers on the International Conference Forum, who have shared their views, are all winners, because participation is more important than winning a prize. So I congratulate all the paper presenters who have wonderfully done their job by presenting their research work and thoughts on sustainable development. And congratulations to all the paper presenters who have done a wonderful job, and special congratulations to the winners. Thank you. Over to Rajiv sir.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Indeed, I express congratulations to all the winners at this occasion. And as ma'am said, it is a win moment to everybody who has presented their new model to this sustainable development, where we try to bring about quality education in the field of management and multidimensional disciplines. Going further, I request participants, the faculty fraternities, to give their feedback for their conference. Over to all the participants, they can raise their hand and then go forward. I repeat, I request the participants, the faculty fraternities who had done their paper presentations, to give their feedbacks, please.
A couple of them raised their hands. Can we unmute them?
Yeah, yes, sir.
All the participants are unmuted, so you can switch on your mic and provide your feedback.
We request the faculty fraternities who are the participants to switch on their mic and go forward with their feedbacks, please.
Sir, I'll give my feedback regarding the presentations and the program.
Please go ahead.
Thank you, sir. This particular program has been initiated by to have the sustainable development, to create a new model, and I'm wholeheartedly thanking Sanskrithi School of Business for providing everyone this particular opportunity beyond states, beyond countries, overall globally. Everyone has participated in this particular international conference in search of a new model for the sustainable development, and I'm happy for being a part in this. Thank you, sir.
So,
Thank you, Ms.
namaste. This is
Anusha.
KV and Lakshmi, sir.
Yes, ma'am. Please go ahead, ma'am, please.
Yes, sir. It was a very well organized conference, and when it comes to the topic on which this conference was held is absolutely perfect, and that is what is needed at this particular hour. And it was coordinated well. Special thanks to Prashanti ma'am and all the other organizers. Very well hosted. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Your valuable feedbacks is really a word for us. I request other participants, if you have any feedbacks, you can please, I'll give you another 1 more minute so that you can share your feedback, which will really help us to go forward in the future with other topics and other fields or multidimensional views that we can come with. Going further, I request Honorable Dr. Balakoteshwari ma'am, Dean Academics and Principal, Sanskrithi School of Business, to go forward with the closing remarks. Over to you, ma'am.
Every end has a new beginning. We have come to the end of the two-day international conference, but this is a new beginning to practice the sustainable initiatives, students to work on social problems and develop solutions for pressing problems in society. Research scholars have got direction to take research forward by studying the Indian philosophy and heritage, as stated by Dr. Charan Singh yesterday and Dr. PURUSHOTTAM sir today. For faculty to develop students as instruments in sustainable development, and for institutes to initiate capacity building activities to build resources through their faculty and students in the institutes. Having come to the end of two-day international conference on sustainable development in search of new development model, I take this opportunity to thank the Chief request for the inaugural address, Dr. Charan Singh, Agro Foundation Chief Executive, former Chairman, Punjab and Sindh Bank, former RBI Chairperson of Economics, IIMB, former Research Director, former Senior Economist, International Monetary Fund, Washington, D.C. I also thank the international speaker who joined on virtual platform from Sharjah, United Arab Emirates, Professor Dr. Shaktivel, Professor of Marketing, School of Business, Skyline University. I immensely thank our valedictory speaker, Dr. PURUSHOTTAM BUNG, Professor and Director, RV Institute of Management, Bangalore, for delivering the valedictory address. Thank you so much, sir. I also thank Dr. Noor Firdoos Jahan, Professor and HOD, Marketing and Research Center, RV Institute of Management, Bengaluru, for delivering her address today. I immensely thank our session chairs, CMA Dr. Natika Podar, Associate Professor in Finance, St. Francis Institute of Management and Research, Mumbai. Our session chair, Dr. Mahesh Pavan, being a person from industry, he has a good balance of research background. He's a program manager, emphasis Bangalore, and he has done his PhD, MBA from MPhil and MPhil from IMA. Thank you, sir, Pavan sir. And our other session chair, Dr. Bhavya Vikas. She is Associate Professor, MBA Department of B&M Institute of Technology, Bangalore. And I immensely thank all the delegates, the research scholars, faculty fraternity, and the student community who have initiated to present the paper on weighted and relevant topic of today's scenario, sustainable development. I especially thank the conference coordinator, Professor Prashanti and Dr. Hemant. Team who have worked tirelessly to put things together behind the screens, Dr. Venkateshan, Head of the Department, MBA, Dr. Rajesh Babu, Professor Rajiv Chinnappa, Professor Pranavashri, Professor Jainandini, Professor Vijayalakshmi, and Professor Ranganathan. In the technical team, Sai Kumar and Lingamaya, who has supported us from behind the scenes to make this event possible. And I especially thank our students of Sanskrithi School of Business who have been witnessing the entire 2 days conference virtually and very keenly taking down the points so that they are able to get hands-on with solving the problems in society. I thank Almighty for giving us an opportunity to present and put forward this conference. And I immensely thank the management and the chairman, Shri Vijay Bhaskar Reddy Garu, for his unconditional support as always. I thank everybody who are present on the virtual platform, and I thank one and all again. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am.